It's time to answer the questions that you asked me on Instagram. A couple days ago, I put up a story on my Instagram, basically asking you guys to ask me questions and I'll answer them right here. If you missed out this time, don't worry. I'm gonna be doing it again very soon. So if you don't already, follow me on Instagram. Anyway, let's kick off with the questions. The first question I got asked is Narcotica Limonata full bottle worthy, or should you consider something from Memoirs of a Perfume Collector? Well, to be honest, I don't have the popular MOAPC fragrances. I've smelt them all though, apart from the new one, California Dream, I think it's called. But Tales of Zanzibar, Trouble in Paradise, and of course Rio are the three heavy hitters when it comes to summer. But to quickly answer your question, I think value for money wise, you're getting a better deal with Limonata. This is £235 for 100 ml. I mean, it's not that much better and it might be different in your country. And overall scent profile wise, Limonata keeps getting compared to Porthole from Lumari. I can see where they're coming from, but to be fair, this reminds me a little bit of God of Fire in terms of that sparkly yet juicy mango. So if you like that fragrance and you want something that's reminiscent of that, but not of the same DNA, then Limonata from Narcotica is definitely worth checking out. This person is after a summer perfume, but one that's not overly citrusy and something that reminds them a little bit of Amouage Decision or the new Maison Crivelli Musk Neurosana. I've got a few recommendations on the table and actually I forgot one, so let me grab it. I think Impardia from BDK is worth a check. It's loud and strong, but not abrasive. Wild Rush from Initio is also worth checking out. This is a blue fragrance that dries down into a really nice fruity caramel gourmand, but it stays pretty fresh the whole time. Amouage Decision is on your mind. You should probably just pick it up realistically. It's a 10 out of 10 in my eyes. A newer fragrance to my collection and one that's definitely very popular online is Sacred Bond from Reinvented. Nishane Meant to Be Seen. There's something in the dry down of this fragrance that I just absolutely adore. And then finally we have Luxus from Soleil de Grace. This one is interesting. It's like a relatively fresh, aquatic, yet spicy saffron fragrance. I've not come across anything like this on the market and it's a pretty hard one to describe. You're after a layering recommendation for Radical Rose Extrait, I've got you. Check out Amouage Sequence and Radical Rose Extrait. It's a super bright, fruity, syrupy blend, but you can feel the depth and you can feel the intensity straight away. Check this combo out. Another layering question. You're asking for my favorite layering combination. Well, I don't really layer too often, but one combination that I've been seriously loving recently is the combination of Matière Première Falcon Leather Extrait and Boadicea Complex 2020. If you're not into leather fragrances, this might not be for you. But these two together play off each other really well. You have this charcoaly, almost burnt, textured leather to Falcon Leather Extrait, and then you have this really sharp and smoky, incensey leather in Complex 2020. Also with these herbaceous green facets as well. This combination will definitely turn heads. Will they like the combination? It just depends because it's not super mass appealing. Tips for newer creators. I do have a few. I'll give you some right now. The first one that's just gonna sound really generic, and this is coming from someone that's posted short form content for a really long time, about 2 years now. I'm newer to long form content, so this advice is probably more specifically short form. The first and most generic thing I could tell you is just have fun with it. As soon as you stop having fun doing this, then it shows in the content, and as soon as it becomes like a chore, then it's probably a sign to take a step and reevaluate what you're trying to do. The second key piece of advice, in my opinion, is just post as much as you can, as much as you physically can. Now, this is not because it's going to get you loads of followers. It's mainly because it's going to teach you how to make content quickly. It's going to teach you how to make content efficiently as well. And it's going to teach you more about your style of content. So just post as much as you can, record in as many places as you can, record in public, try voiceovers, try pictures, try in-person content out in the public, try sat down content like what I'm doing right now. Just try it all, post a lot of it, see what fits your vibe and just run with it. And the third key piece of advice is just don't compare yourself to anyone. Just do what you do. Look at yourself as a creator in a vacuum, because the key thing is comparison is the thief of joy. Oud for summer. Now, I probably have a lot more fragrances behind me, but off the top of my head, these are the first three that I could think of. The first one is Oudian from Père Noir, and this is probably the least mass appealing fragrance out of these three. This is all about like super syrupy and sugary tropical fruits contrasted with leather and oud. Astrum Nova is another fruity oud. This time it's mango osmanthus, which gives this fragrance a bit of a peachy apricot nuance, as well as oud as well. And finally, Creed Royal Oud. Now, I wouldn't really say this is a summery oud fragrance, but it's more of a versatile all year round oud style fragrance. It's more of a pink pepper and cedar fragrance, to be honest. It has a bit of a pencil shaving kind of vibe, but I love it. And now we have a very difficult question about underrated fragrances. And I know we're talking about just the industry in general, but I'll tell you a couple from my collection first, whilst I think of the main answer. Dias and Durga de Besa, super underrated, really green fig and a bit of coconut. Ex Nihilo Midnight Special. Now, I do have Radical Rose Extrait, and I still say that this is the best rose fragrance that my nose has ever come across. And then finally, probably the most underrated fragrance from Initio, Blessed Baraka. This is a lovely, vanilla, creamy sandalwood fragrance, but it also has something that reminds me a little bit of cherry in it as well. Now onto the tough part. The most underrated fragrance. I can't think of one, but I'll drop a couple brands that I think are quite underrated. The first one is the House of Foygia, incredible artistic indie niche brand from Patagonia. Definitely worth checking out. And not a brand, but a collection. I do think the D&G Velvet collection is severely slept on. And also the Givenchy La Collection Particulière, their private line, is another slept on collection. And also Cherrigan Paris, another underrated fragrance brand. I have a couple from them and I've smelt basically all of their creations. Super, super underrated. And now another really tough one, a fragrance that describes me the best. Now, I was thinking about this one for a while and I've come to the conclusion that it's Nishane Fan Your Flames X. And I think that's because I'm a quiet person in real life. I like to keep to myself, I just do me, and this fragrance gives me that vibe. But also, once you get to know this fragrance and develop a taste for it, it is just really distinct and memorable, and that's how I like to think of myself. I don't know, I feel like I'm reaching, but yeah, my choice is Nishane Fan Your Flames X. Perhaps a little bit more of a mature fragrance as well, but yeah, I think that's the vibe that I give, and if I was a fragrance, hopefully I'll be remembered as this one. So thank you all for the brilliant questions. We're gonna wrap this up. Like I said, we're gonna be doing this regularly, so if you haven't already, follow me on Instagram and keep an eye out for my stories. Thank you all for the questions. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button.